Hey you guys, I am back here with another video, and this is actually going to be a little bit different video. It's a tag video, the Wax Lovers tag, and I got tagged by Kimberly from KimHeartsOrganizing. And if I remember, I'll try to put her channel description in the down bar or the video description box if you guys are not subscribed to her and want to check out her channel. And I thought it was really cute that she did started a Wax Lovers tag video. I'm not super well versed in YouTube, even though I do YouTube. So I think a tag video, basically she does the video and then she tags people and then they're supposed to answer the same questions in a video and then they can tag people. I haven't really thought this through about who I want to tag because I think she already tagged a lot of the YouTubers that I watch down in her video, and I think a couple of them have already put up responses and I don't know who they tag. So I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you are a YouTuber and you see this, you want to do it, like, go for it. I think it's kind of fun. Sorry, I haven't done a whole lot of prep. Now, you guys know I don't get in front of the camera, so what you see in front of you is a conglomeration of all of the wax haul videos I've been filming today, so the visual on the video is not going to change. Why is my husband looking at me all weird? What?
Nothing.
He says nothing. But anyways, so this is a perfect video to put on if you just need to hear some rambling, or maybe you're like cleaning your bathroom and you need background noise, because I can just talk a lot and you can listen to the video if you want, I guess. So anyways, the Wax Lovers tag video. The first question is, how did you get into wax? I completely blame Kirby for it. 100% it is her fault. I was into Lush. I still am into Lush, but about 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago, I got into Lush like hardcore. I was watching every Lush YouTube video I could find. I was reading the Lush Times cover to cover, memorizing it, looking at ingredients and like all this crazy crap, right? So I ran across Kirby's video, as all people that watch Lush YouTube eventually run into her channel, you know, Vintage Chic 1927. And she had up all these Lush videos I was watching. I was like, this is awesome. And then I started coming across her wax videos. And I think the first one I watched was like her Tarte collection. So I sat there and I watched like all 20 minutes of her Tarte collection. And then at the end, I still didn't know what a Tarte was. I was like, what did I just watch? Like, I don't understand. But Kirby has such like a soothing voice and her videos are always good quality that I just sat there and watched the whole thing anyway. And then I watched a couple other one of her hauls and I'm like, why is she talking about this stuff like it's food? Or I was totally confused. So eventually I figured out what it was, but it was completely Kirby's fault. If it was not for her videos on Lush, I don't think I would have ever run into the vendor wax community. But I would guarantee that a lot of us into wax now, or the ones that came into wax within the last couple years, are probably because of Kirby. I think that's how a lot of us have found it. So that is how I got into wax. I never really burned candles much before, never melted a Tarte before in my life. I had to like research that, like what is a warmer? I had to watch videos on like what a warmer is. Like, I didn't understand any of it. Okay, so the first vendor ever ordered from is the second question, and I thought it was Front Porch, but it actually is not. It was candles from the Keeping Room. And I had to dig back into my email history for this because I do save every single invoice. I actually ordered from them on the same day. I ordered from Candles from the Keeping Room in the morning, and then I ordered from Front Porch in the afternoon. And at the time, Candles from the Keeping Room, you know, on her website, I wasn't on Facebook, but on her website she said, we're opening like on this day. So I went back on that day and I was getting like the error page a lot, but I just kept trying and trying. Got some stuff in my cart. I got a good, decent sized order and I was very happy with that. And then later in the day, I ordered from Front Porch. So Candles from the Keeping Room technically was my first vendor order. And I would say nowadays, there's probably very few people getting into wax where Candles from the Keeping Room is their first order, just because the ordering process is a little bit more high stress. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners for sure, but that was, I just went in like head first. I was like, I'm going to just, I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, oh, this vendor's opening. So like, I'm going to just try it. Now, the third question, favorite vendor currently. And that one is really hard because there's a lot of them I really like. Super Tarte has been performing consistently well for me lately. I mean, it always does. But when I really think about it, that one I've been reaching for a lot. I've been reaching for my Candles from the Keeping Room. She's always in my top 3 list consistently as well. There's a lot of other vendors I really like, and I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of them. But pretty much, if I have a haul video on them, I like them. I don't think I've ever gotten a wax order in that I've regretted or didn't like. So I'm really digging all of them. But maybe Candles from the Keeping Room and Super Tartes for right now. Number 4, something most people don't know about you. What I look like is probably something most people don't know about me, because I've made this weird thing where I have no pictures of myself on my Facebook account at all, and I don't ever want to get in front of the camera, so I don't think anybody out there knows what I look like. Yeah, I am a little chubby, a lot chubby. I would call myself kind of chunky. Stout, is that the right word? Like, I'm a little stocky. I have big swimmer shoulders. Japanese, of Japanese heritage, 100% Japanese heritage, but I'm the 4th generation that's been here in the United States. Long black hair, brown eyes, acne prone skin. I guess would be the best way to describe me. I don't know. I'm not especially happy with the way I look, but I don't hate how I look either. But I would never like want to get in front of the camera to do beauty videos or anything like that. So I would say that's probably something most people don't know about me, but you're probably not going to know about me. Another thing is my Facebook name is not my real name. And that's something that I have mentioned before on my channels, but only periodically. Now, my Facebook name is very similar to my real name. It's close enough that I can almost get away with saying, oh, maybe it's a nickname or something like that. But the reason I did that is I do not like Facebook. I really dislike the idea of Facebook because you see so many people post stupid crap on it, like in my opinion, or like really just stuff that you don't care about. You know, like, oh, I took this quiz and this is how I did. And some of them are funny, but after a while, like, you just don't want to see a whole lot of it. You know, I don't care to see what my friends are eating. I don't care to see what restaurant they're at. I really don't care to see your vacation photos either. Sorry, I'm really kind of cynical like that. So I never had a Facebook account. I just didn't see a need for it. But as I got into wax, I realized that you really need a Facebook account to really stay in touch with these vendors. And I did not want to make a Facebook account in my quote-unquote real name and then have coworkers find me or friends from college find me, or heaven forbid, high school. I don't have any friends from college or high school left, by the way. That I'm still in contact with, but I just don't want to deal with that, or like have people send you friend requests and you either ignore them or reject them, and then they're like offended as to why didn't you accept this, or, you know, it's just, I just didn't even want to deal with it. So underneath the Facebook name that I have now, it's different enough that most people, if they run across it, wouldn't know that it was me. So that's another thing. Like I said, my real name, I'm not going to say it on the video. A lot of you probably know it, you know, if you've ever seen me post like my PayPal address, the vendors know it. Although I think it confuses some of the vendors, because some of the vendors call me by my Facebook name. I think not realizing that's not my real name. It's fine. I don't really care either way, but that's something that some of you may not know about me. I used to collect Care Bears. Sorry, I like to talk, so I'm talking in this video a lot. I like to collect Care Bears. I still have all my Care Bears from childhood. I probably have like 100 Care Bears. Another thing, I think most people may know this if they've seen a couple of my videos or I mentioned this or seen a Facebook post, but I used to be in the Navy. I went to college on a full scholarship ROTC, so I didn't pay for any tuition. I got a stipend for just like food and stuff, and then I also got like a book stipend as well. So it was just a really good deal. So, you know, you go to college on this full scholarship and then you owe the Navy X amount of years depending on if you're going to go be a pilot or a submariner or whatever you're going to be. So, you know, I was just regular surface warfare. That meant I went to the ships, you know, I went to a destroyer, DDG, and then afterwards I got trained in nuclear power. So I'm in my line of work, I'm definitely more of like a technical engineering type of work. But back when I was in the Navy, I was supervising the team that ran the nuclear reactors, and I don't really remember much of it anymore, but it was a blast. It was a lot of studying, it was a lot of fun, and it was a difficult field, but I really enjoyed it, and I kind of miss it, because, I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that get to experience nuclear power on a first-hand level, and it was kind of a blast. Hopefully that wasn't oversharing. Anyways, number 5, favorite scent, zucchini bread. I think if anyone out there has watched a couple of my videos, I have a huge boner for zucchini bread. Love it. Especially spicy zucchini bread. Ava's Country Cupboard in particular, Tiffany Candles. I think they have the spicier zucchini breads. Haley's Heavenly Scents, the non-grandma blends. Love it, love it, love it. Number 6, how many warmers do you own? So I actually looked around for this, but I don't have an exact number. I do have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 warmers that I use periodically throughout, you know, throughout the house that are you know, on whatever. So there's 5 of those. I've got maybe 1 tea light warmer for Halloween. I have like one Christmas warmer. That's like a 12 watt from Yankee. Like what is that going to do for me? So I don't even use that 12 watt Yankee warmer, but it's cute because it's a Christmas tree. So I got that one. And then I stockpiled a metric crap ton, or maybe it's a metric butt ton of 24 watt hot plate warmers when I found out that they were not getting produced anymore. And I almost don't want to say the number, but I've got like 18 to 20 24 watt hot plate warmers that I have hoarded like a squirrel. So I would say my total I probably own about maybe 28 to 30 warmers total in that area. And people don't really melt a whole lot of wax in my area. I think you can kind of tell, like maybe more in the Midwest or in the South, wax seems to be more popular, but you know, the warmers are still available. I think at my local Pier 1, I was still finding them at Michael's really with no problem. And then also at our local Navy Exchange, they had like that, my absolute favorite 24 watt hot plate Yankee warmer, and they had that thing for like 5 months. So every time I went back, I would get like one more. And then I'd go back and get like one more. They were still there. So I didn't necessarily feel bad just because in this area, it's really not that popular to melt wax. At least that's the impression that I have of this area, Southern California. Okay, number 7, favorite warmer. Oh, I should have unplugged this stupid thing. It's this Yankee Candle 24 watt hot plate warmer, and it's got these like little ivory squares on it. It's like this round thing, a nice round plate. It just is a good warmer. It always, you know, it throws well for most of the wax that I put in it. Just a nice ivory, you know, color. So it kind of is just benign, goes with a lot of stuff. Just a good solid warmer. And I'm actually a little bit nostalgic about it too, because I think it's I think it's the first warmer I ever bought was that Yankee one. Number 8, any other things you do as a hobby or have collections of? I already said this before, but, you know, Care Bears, I do collect a lot of Care Bears. I don't necessarily seek them out a whole lot anymore, but if I run across something Care Bear, I mean, I will grab it. I recently started collecting, like, kind of cute, I think, like, tea strainers or tea infusers. When I went on my vacation to London, I came back with just some really cute loose leaf tea things, and I was like, man, like I really just can't use these. So I don't really have a big collection of them. I've got maybe like 6 things so far, but I think that those are kind of cute. As far as a hobby, I recently got a sewing machine on Black Friday, and I'm going to start sewing some fleece items for my chinchilla cage. That's not really a hobby though. I really don't have a hobby. YouTube is really my hobby. YouTube and the wax. I don't do nail polish. I don't do, I'm trying to think what other hobbies a lot of people in wax do. No, I really am kind of boring. So I think that's all I got to say about that one. Number 9, what is your favorite thing about wax? I think just the scents. I love having all of the different scents in my house. They evoke different memories. They make me happy. And it's you know, it's weird because out of all of your senses, your sense of smell is not something that I particularly before thought about or treasured. I mean, sure, I smelled stuff. You could smell the food that you're eating or whatever, but it's not something I ever really thought about. But the fact that now I'm finally like tickling that sense of smell and, you know, I don't know, invigorating it a little bit, I think is interesting. So it just makes me happy. And maybe it's stupid to think that a fragrance oil and a piece of wax makes me happy, but it does. And that is the truth. Okay, number 10, have you ever thought about starting your own wax business? I would have to say that I think most of us, it has crossed our mind at some point. I mean, it definitely has crossed my mind. I'm like, man, like, you know, I keep thinking like I could test out different, you know, like wax compositions, you know, get some molds and mess around with, you know, the color and all that kind of stuff and the different techniques. You know, because I think there are different techniques, like different oils have to get poured at different temperatures, and you can't pour stuff too hot, and you can't pour it too cold, and all sorts of like different subtleties that I know I don't really understand, but I kind of have seen the periphery of it. But feasibly, would I ever be able to do a wax company? No. And if I ever did, it wouldn't probably be until I retired. You know, I'm early 30s, so I've got a long way to go until retirement, but it's just, you know, I like to... The YouTube is my hobby, and that takes up some time. The wax is another hobby, which takes up some time. You know, and I have a full-time job that I'm definitely not willing to leave ever to do, like, wax as a full-time thing, even if I could be successful. So I don't have the time to do it part-time. Also, I have really thin skin, and, you know, I've seen vendors get run through the ringer, and some of them deservedly so. you know, on Facebook, but I don't have a thick enough skin, I think, to read negative, you know, commentary about a product that I was putting my heart and soul into and probably not have it really bother me. So I don't think I've got the heart really to do that side of the business. Also, I tend to get kind of snippety and mad easily, and I think the customer service aspect would really sink me. Like if I was getting really angry at somebody, I think I'd have a hard time maintaining my composure, keeping my cool, and trying to keep it classy. So I am really lacking a lot of the qualities, I think, on the business side that would make me good at it. Also, I can't blend worth a damn, and you guys can probably tell that from my hauls. I like to blend the same sorts of things, but I am not inventive, and whenever I do try to go outside the box to blend something, it just doesn't work. And I just can't do it. Some people are just really good at that, and that's another big part of a wax company, is being able to make unique, great smelling blends, and I just don't have that skill. So I couldn't do it. My husband has actually said before that he thinks it would be kind of fun to run a wax company, but I'm like, no. Like, you know, honestly, if I'm still into wax when I retire, like, you know, when I'm 60 or something, I would actually consider it. But feasibly, right now, no, there's no way. But it's always fun to, like, think about it, to be honest, but no. Number 11, favorite movie, favorite TV show, favorite band. My all-time favorite movie is High Fidelity with John Cusack. I absolutely love that movie because it's hilarious, it's funny, and I think music plays a really big part in all of our lives. I love how they tied music into there, like evoking certain memories. You know, because I think we all do that. There's certain songs, maybe you hear them and you're like, man, like you just think of high school or just a point in your lives, and it's just like, it just really hits you like right there, like in your heart. And I love that about High Fidelity, and it's just hilarious because of all the antics that John Cusack's character goes through, describing a terrible breakup he had, like with when he was 7, you know, and it's so awful, and all these things. And it was just a really good movie, and I thought their description of relationships and love was really accurate, you know, because it's not always easy. You know, he really wanted his girlfriend back, and then he was thinking about cheating on her again, and he didn't. But those kinds of things, I think, in relationships are honest. They're not always pretty, but they're honest. So I love that movie. My favorite, like, I think kind of want to watch it for fun movie is Shakespeare in Love. I really love that movie. Just kind of funny, kind of bright. I like the acting, so I like that movie. I also really love, like, really silly movies like Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. I could watch that one quite a lot. Clueless. You know, those kinds of movies. Mean Girls. All really good. Current favorite TV show, The Walking Dead. Really love that one. I also watch a lot of Once Upon a Time, and then also watching a lot of The Blacklist. I love James Spader. I got hooked on him when I started watching Boston Legal, and I know that show is no longer on, but Boston Legal is a fabulous TV show. If you guys have never seen it, hilarious, political. At the time, they really commented on a lot of like the current events and goings on like of that time, and really interesting conversations, different points of views. I thought it was a really, really smart TV show. James Spader was fabulous in it. So when he started to do The Blacklist, I mostly just wanted to watch it because of him, but The Blacklist is a really good show. Favorite band. I don't really have a favorite band. I'm pretty lame. My taste in music is pretty much like top 40s, like, you know, Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, you know, those types of things. The last band I really liked was probably in high school. I really loved the Smashing Pumpkins. Back in high school, I really loved No Doubt, but I really haven't liked a band really since then, I have to say. So I'm pretty lame. I wish I could name off like a bunch of indie bands that I really like, that are super cool, like obscure and awesome. But let's be honest, I rock it out to Katy Perry in the car. I ain't ashamed to admit it. It is what it is, you know. She's popular for a reason because people are listening to her, and I'm one of them. But anyways, you guys, that is it. I'm sorry if I came off a little annoying. I'm kind of been filming a lot of videos, so it's been a long day. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching that and maybe learned a little bit more about me if you managed to make it through all 20 minutes of that. Sorry about that. If I do tag somebody, I'll put it in the description of the video, but I think most of the people were already tagged that have done it, and like I said, they may have already tagged some of the other people too. But anyways, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I will catch you in the next video, and thank you, Kimberly, for this Wax Lovers tag. This was a very cool idea. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good week or weekend. Catch you later. Bye.